You can't be grateful for anything if you don't know the pain of loss. Loss creates gratitude, not abundance. Hello everyone, my name is Gavin. Today I'm going to be teaching you about gratitude. And you're probably like, why gratitude? That's such a lame subject. It's like about being thankful. If you have nothing in your life, you're probably like, why would I be grateful? If you have everything, you're probably like, why would I be grateful? I already have everything. Well, I'm going to teach you why you shouldn't think that way today. And the reason why I'm going to be teaching you about gratitude is because gratitude is important to becoming successful, to getting love in your life. And you need love because you can't do anything alone. You need a support structure to get things done. Lone wolves don't really exist. I mean, you can do things in isolation. You can master your craft alone. Like you can become really good at something in your private time. For example, you have a profession, your sport, your training, your art, you're practicing technique, style, like things like this. Your business, you're working on little things in your operation, trying to perfect it. Yeah, of course you can do things in your private time, but everything actually happens together. Because when you're doing art, you show it to people. When you're playing a sport, you're playing with a team, with people, against other people. When you're doing a business, it's in the marketplace. There's other players in the market, other competitors. Everything is always together. So you need love. So if you think love is irrelevant to success, then you're delusional. I'm the best Gen Z philosopher of this modern era. There's nobody else you could go to. It's just me. I went to the #1 business school in my country, in Canada. I'm a consultant to a private clientele, and I beat the S&P 500 twice by a lot. I won't say by how much because we're not going to be talking about financials today, but I'm here to teach you how to get your best life. And I also run a social media account. I've had a personal brand. It's gotten over 30 million views, over like 15,000 followers. But I went away from the public eye for a bit of time because I was focusing on my business in private. Okay, but that's the intro. That's who I am. Now back to what we're doing. We're here to teach you how to get your best life. That's what we're doing on this channel. Love and Success Are Married. That's the book I wrote, the best book that you can get to conquer this modern era, written by a Gen Z, the best Gen Z philosopher of this modern day. Top link in the description. Now let's begin. You can't be grateful for anything if you don't know the pain of living without that thing. The pain of loss creates gratitude. So let me tell you a story. A child begs for a new toy. When the child gets that toy, they explore it. They get a new sensation of play. They experience self-discovery. But a child cries when they lose that toy. But when a child gets the new toy, they no longer cry. Why? Because the loss creates gratitude, not abundance. They don't care about the new toy. They care about the fact that they know the pain of what it was like to lose it, to not have a toy. And if you think we're just talking about kids, just wait, you'll get your turn. So abundance comes as a result of gratitude. Abundance without gratitude is a poison that will take the soul from your life. At the highest point of gratitude, where mastery is achieved, there is no delay from your first action to your next action. You begin to live in sequence. Everything you become a sequential person. Gratitude turns you into a master of environments. Every single aspect of yourself that allows you to live the life that you want to live, your health, your relationships, your talents, your skills, everything that makes you unique, no one's like you. Those aspects of yourself allow you to live a life of your highest potential. You appreciate all these aspects of your life because they allow you to live the life that you want. Your standards, your terms. Nobody else can tell you what to do because these aspects of yourself allow you to build that specialized life for you. So you protect these things. You have routines, special routines that grow and nurture these aspects of yourself to maintain, sustain, and continue that life that you have, that you cherish so much. But where does gratitude come from? Gratitude does not come from your material life. It does not come from the life outside. Gratitude turns you into a master of environments. So it would be a paradox to say that it comes from the external world. So where does it come from? Gratitude comes from within to guide you to your best life. Gratitude is born from within because you know your needs and the target for what you need to achieve. The reason why having a target makes you grateful is because you can see the world, you can see your environment, you can see your situation, you can see what you offer to the table. And then from that, you can see exactly the way you need to live to succeed and get the results you want. If you don't have an aim, how can you possibly be grateful? How do you know what is there for you? What in your life is going to serve you? You don't know. So without having a clear target, it's impossible to be grateful. But true success comes from gratitude that is not just about your self-interest and your own well-being and your own life. And it's all about you. No. When you have gratitude for everything around you, because think about this, for you to succeed, for you to become the highest potential of what you want to be, you need to do things in places that other people created. You write things, you create things, you do work, you make calls, you train, you organize your operation, you learn to become an expert of your profession, and you study to be the best student, because only the best student is going to surpass the master and make them proud of them. So do you see how many things go around you just for you to succeed? Do you see how many pieces have to be put in place just for you to win? Just for your way of life to even exist, just for you even to do the life that you want, you have to be grateful, because there's so many other people involved in creating this world that you're existing in. So whether your material world is chaotic, peaceful, sunny, rainy, sunshine, whatever it is, you need to embrace it. If gratitude can't go with you everywhere you go, then your success, the work that you do, won't lead to much fulfillment or contribution to others. It'll be just about you. That's an empty life. How can you contribute to people if you aren't thankful for them? How can you contribute to the world and be grateful for the world that you don't even embrace? How can you become the top of your field if you don't respect the profession? How can you become a top athlete if you don't even respect the game? How can you be the best student if you don't care about what you learn? How can you run the best business with a tight operation if you don't care for the marketplace? Success doesn't exist in a vacuum. Success exists in interactions, engagements, people speaking with one another and exchanging value. That's literally what money for a service, money for a good is. It's an exchange. And that's why gratitude is important. A society that is deprived of gratitude breeds mediocrity. Everyone is mediocre because they can't be grateful for the things that need to happen for them to do the things that they need to do. Your success wouldn't exist if you didn't have gratitude. People without gratitude create a world of self-interest and psychopaths. So then how do you create gratitude? Now that we've defined what it is, now we're going to talk about how to create it. Think about the thing that you love the most, whether it's a person, your work, your art, your sport, your business, your profession, your learning, your family, traveling, whatever vision you have for a beautiful life. If the thing you love the most is taken away from you and robbed, only then will you learn the value of that thing in your life. The truth is, when you first get in contact with something, it's more like an exploration of self-discovery, learning about yourself, learning about the world. The beginning of love comes after the pain of loss. So loss is how you get gratitude. But what does loss do to you? What is this process? How does it give you gratitude? Loss breeds vigilance. Take note of what I just said to you, because nobody is ever going to give you this advice. Loss breeds vigilance. Write it down now, you can understand later. So here's the breakdown. When life is going perfect, when your routine is easy, when everything's in flow, you have surface level issues like motivation, procrastination, or having options of fun, spontaneity. I want to go out here, I want to do this. Or you're thinking about work, you're thinking about responsibilities. Gratitude never comes across your mind when life is perfect, when life is moving smoothly. So it's literally impossible to be grateful for something when you don't know what it's like to live without that thing. Your life's been going smoothly for too long. But this smooth waters, this flow, this perfection, this ease, this is an opportunity to show who you are, to show if you'll do something in times of peace and times of harmony. But if you fail to see the gifts in your life as an opportunity, this is where loss hits you, and boom, now you have to learn gratitude. When you lose a key part of your life, whether it's a person, a position, a job, a piece of your identity, like if you lose your health, God forbid it, of course. When you take a big loss of your life, that is the moment when you go into self-destruction. That is the moment when everything begins to fall apart and you begin to spiral. When you finally reach a path of abundance where everything is building on top of each other, you're progressing, you're moving forward, and when everything's stable and you're moving towards your goals and dreams, that is how you become vigilant, when you are beginning to progress. The beginning of progression, the beginning of your journey to your goals and your best life, that is when you become vigilant, because that is when you care so much about not messing up that routine, because you know the pain of loss and you never want to experience it ever again. Okay, boom. So now we know that loss is how you get gratitude. We know that loss breeds vigilance. Write that down. So now what does vigilance mean? What does this word mean? Vigilance means you are sharp, you are attentive, observant, always watching, taking note of what benefits your life and what can completely ruin the journey. Because you are on your path to success and love. And anything that can compromise this will completely cause you to spiral emotionally and mentally. When you know what it means to lose something, that is when you value it. When you know what it means to lose something, that is when you have true gratitude. And that gratitude turns you into a killer, meaning you will do anything necessary to protect that way of life. Your work, your people, your loved ones, your community, your own well-being. You will take responsibility for all. You will make sure everything is taken care of. The pain of loss turns you vigilant. It turns you into this person because you know the cost of damage. You know the cost of chaos. You know the cost of starting over when you already have built a foundation. And people might be like, oh, vigilance, this sounds like you're stressed, you're negative, you're always watching, you're always attentive, you're sharp. It's going to turn you into a crazy person. No, if you think that, you're naive and you don't know how quickly something can be taken from you when you're on a journey to do big things in your life. Try to take a journey to do something that you care so deeply about, whether it's success, your work, your field of expertise, or whether you love a person, and watch as years go by, as months go by, as even weeks go by, how obstacles come in your way and things seem to try to ruin what you're doing. So no, vigilance is not this low frequency thing that makes you all sad and serious and makes you all stressed out all the time. Vigilance turns you serious for a good reason, because you're not naive, you're not stupid. You become highly aware of people trying to ruin your energy, trying to ruin your health, trying to hurt your loved ones, trying to take away the life that you care so deeply about. So welcome. Loss causing you to become vigilant is where you begin stage 1 of building your foundation and your journey to love and success. This is your foundational stage, the building blocks, the stepping stones that you will walk across to prevent yourself from drowning in life's depth. And I know you're like, lost to need gratitude. Why do you have to lose so much? I'm a winner, I don't lose. How would I have gratitude? No, I'm a winner too. I know what it's like. The more you try to succeed, the more you try to improve the love in your relationships, the more you try to build your support system so you can take your success even further, the more loss you will face. Because the harder it is for you to be fulfilled, because your goals are getting so big, the more you will lose, because it is a test of your gratitude. If you self-destruct at the face of loss, it proves that your gratitude is not strong enough to carry you all the way on this journey. I know there are many wealthy people watching thinking, how is loss even relevant to me? But you go through stage 1 of loss with wealth as a successful person more than someone at the bottom, more than someone with nothing, more than someone with no money. Why? Because your success means you're always gaining new things. These new things now, they're things you can lose. So at a higher level, the more wealthy you get, the more successful you get, the more achievements you have, the better you become in your field, the more perfect you have to be. This is why you have to be vigilant. Do you see how it's connecting? It's naive to think that being vigilant is negative. No, it's good to be serious, to protect what you have, to continue to build that further. Because when you don't protect it, these building blocks that you built up, people pick at them, things pick at them, obstacles pick at them, challenges pick at them. The way the world changes, it tries to take it from under you. So at the highest level, to get that high, you built your foundation better than anyone else. So because you're going higher than everyone around you, you are dealing with things that nobody else has dealt with. So as a successful person, as a wealthy person, your losses are worse because the stronger you get, the harder pain you have to feel so that it can balance out. And if you don't have gratitude for life, then these challenges will destroy you. They will ruin you, take you out of your position because you don't have the vigilance to see the challenge coming. You can't see it on the horizon. You can't see it coming to encounter you. Loss is a robber. It comes in the night to steal from you. You have to be ready. You have to be aware of it. You have to analyze the situation. This is why gratitude turns you into a master of environments. When life's perfect and everything's moving smoothly and you can see building block after building block, you're making progress, it probably means you're either a beginner or you're a professional. You're either at the lowest level or at the highest level. Because for everyone else in the middle, it's chaos because they have not walked the journey, so they don't know what they're about to do. Because beginners keep things simple. They don't know all the variables. They don't know all the complexities that can go wrong in what they're doing. They just see a little result and think, oh, wow, this is great. But then a professional, they're at a flow state. They're at a higher level. They can optimize for the little things. They can see things clearly. They can predict what's going to happen if they get this result or that result. Realize this. When your life's going perfect, when everything's moving in flow, when you're building block after building block, you can clearly see the progress. You can see the way ahead. You're going forward. Nothing's really distracting you. It either means that you're at a beginner level or you're a professional at the highest level. Why? Because beginners do everything at a simplistic level. They can't see the complexities in what they're doing. They just are happy with a little result and they're like, oh, yay. And then they just move on. They don't care that, oh, this is affecting it or they succeeded because of this thing happening that they took for granted. They're not aware of all that. They don't care. They're just happy they got the result. But a professional, they can see everything that's going on because they have vigilance. They can see every complexity, every nuance, every little variable. They can tweak it and optimize to get the best possible results. Everyone else in the middle is experiencing chaos. You either know what you're doing and it's simple, or you know what you're doing and it's complicated. But if you're in the middle, you're in chaos. But it doesn't matter if you're at the middle, if you're at the beginning, or if you're a professional, because at any moment, your whole life can go wrong because of loss. It's just that beginners and professionals are less affected by loss because they can deal with it. Beginners don't care because they were taking everything for granted in the first place. Professionals don't care because they know how to deal with less because they've worked their way up to get there. Obviously, for beginners, this is probably going to put them in a spiral. They're naive, little thinking, oh, yay, it's working. It's probably going to fall apart. That's where they're going to learn gratitude. The people in the middle have already experienced this pain as a beginner. So in these periods of life, when everything goes wrong because you had a big loss, person, place, position, work, your health, you're not good enough, your skills aren't good enough, you need to work on your talents, there's something missing about you. There's something that's not good enough that you're trying to work on, you're trying to develop. In that period, you're going to experience negativity and frustration. You're going to be pissed, but you have to choose positivity to find your way back on track. So if you are actually one of these few people that actually choose to overcome the loss and actually still aspire to get your best life, then you're rare. Because let's face it, on the path of human excellence, on the path of getting your best life, most people cower in fear at the face of loss. They just feel destroyed. They feel defeated. It takes all the energy from them within. They feel destroyed on the outside. They have no hope. But if you are one of the victorious ones, then you know the pain of what you had to go through. Because even the cowards can relate to the pain. Even they felt the pain. But only the people who overcome and believe in their mission more than they believe in their struggle, only those people know how to turn loss into gain. When you lose, that is when you have trauma. That is when you have insecurities. That is when you have the PTSD, the bad dreams that don't let you sleep at night. And the reason you get these things is because loss, it took you off your path. Everything you had going, the thing you saw, like you aspired for this thing. Like you were like, oh my God, this is my life and I'm going to take it here. But then it got taken from you and this here just disappeared too. So now you're hopeless. You've lost your identity. So to overcome that, what do you think it takes? Loss takes something you care deeply for. And that loss leaves struggle and pain to be your best friend instead. What kind of friend is that? You aren't lonely. You're just meeting a type of dark energy that you don't know how to deal with at this point. When you learn pain and struggle, when you give it the solution that it wants to go away, that is when you learn very well that you never want to experience this ever again. And you're like, yup, I never want to go through that again. The pain of that was so deep. Now you embrace vigilance and you're like, yup, this is over. I'm never being naive again. I'm never leaving myself open to take this type of loss again. And not like you're being closed off. You just adapt your way of life. So if you are one of the rare ones that overcame this loss, you gain gratitude. You become grateful for everything, the people, the work you do, the field of expertise, what you're good at, your talents, your skills, your health, because your health is what allows you to do all of this. The vacations, the travel, the nice things, the scenery, and especially the simple things like good food and good company. People with sheltered lives don't know anything about loss. They don't know challenge, they don't know struggle because they never try to achieve anything. They never put their heart on the line for their social circle, for their people, for their family, for their relationships. So how would they know about gratitude when you see the sky and they see the sky? They don't care, but you do because you know what bad days are like. You know what it looks like. You know what it smells like. You know what it feels like. You know how you have a lack of identity in those days. You wonder what you're even doing with your time, what you're doing with your energy. It can all feel like a waste of life when you're in a time of loss. But after loss, guess what? If you get over this, you're on the path to your best life. If you get to this point, you gain the vigilance to identify the things that tend to rob you, pull you down, create loss in your life, create chaos in your life. If you are at this stage of love and success, then buy LSM and it will help you and guide you to get your best life. And if love and success is your current goal and you're at any stage of the journey, then buy LSM to make sure you get it faster than everyone else. Once you've learned gratitude, you turn into a time and energy perfectionist. So buy LSM today to take your next steps to your best life. Top link in the bio.